In this problem right here, we're looking at a professional soccer team wanting to sign an additional player, and they just want the best player out there. However, there's a goalie that saves 90% of save opportunities, and a forward who averages 1.2 goals per game. Well, it's hard to compare those two because those two are completely different things. However, if we know that the average goalie in the soccer league saves 86% of shots with a standard deviation of 5, and the average forward saves 0.9 goals with a standard deviation of 0.2, we can kind of see that both of them are a little bit above average, right? If average is 86, well, that's above average. If average is 0.9, well, that's above average. So your hypothesis could be that they're both good, or whatever you think, or, oh, that's great. Well, remember, you can't look at this without looking at that. You can't compare 90% to 1.2 goals. You have to compare 90% to 86. You have to compare 1.2 to 0.9. So I'm going to go, I don't want to give you your hypothesis. You've got to make a guess, and I will wait. Okay, you've had time. Hit pause if you need more time. But for now, use z-scores to determine which player the team should sign. Okay? Well, if I calculate the z for both, let's go z for goalie, the zg. A z-score for the goalie, this guy saves 90%. You subtract the average, which is 8.6 or 86%, and divide that by 5, you end up with 4 over 5, which is equal to 0.8, which, if you remember your definition, hello, that means this individual, they are above average, but they're only 0.8 standard deviations above average. So they're not beyond, they're not like an 11-pound baby, in other words, okay? 0.8 standard deviations above average. Now, you do that same z-score with the forward, and this forward scores 1.2 goals a game. The average is 0.9. You divide that by 0.2. Well, the difference there is 0.3. You divide by 0.2, you end up with a 1.5. Well, what does that mean? Well, they're both positive, but this one is more than one standard deviation above average. So the better player is the forward, and the number of standard deviations this player is above average is 1.5. And so talking about it in terms of z-scores kind of standardizes your comparison. It allows you to compare apples to apples instead of apples to oranges, or I guess in this case, goalies to forwards.